It's kind of wild to think that an ugly little spider-shaped corm like this can turn into something as beautiful as this. Same thing, this weird meteor-shaped corm can turn into something like this. As I'm recording this, it's the first week of March, which is the perfect time to start your anemone and your ranunculus corms if you have a last frost date of approximately around May 21st. I'm in Zone 3, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and it is currently March 2nd as I'm recording this, and I'm gonna walk you through the process so that you can have beautiful anemones and ranunculus in your own garden. The other wonderful thing is, through the magic of me planning some successions, I actually have all the different stages except for blooming already in my house, so I can show you how everything's gonna look and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. So unfortunately, you cannot pop these little corms straight in the ground exactly as it is, even if you're seed starting. So what you have to do is you have to soak these ideally for about 4 to 6 hours, but overnight also works. I just find for where I'm at in my life that it's just easier to soak those corms before I go to bed, wake up in the morning and deal with them first thing after everybody is off to school. So the nice thing is that the process for starting anemones and ranunculus is exactly the same. So you can do them at the same time, and they will also probably bloom around the same time. So now that we've soaked our corms overnight, they're nice and plump, we can take them and put them in a tray so we can begin the pre-sprouting stage. A lot of people want to know, is it necessary to pre-sprout? And frankly, the answer is no, but you might get better results. So up to you. If you have a cold, dark location in your house that you're able to do some pre-sprouting with, fantastic. If not, pop them in the soil, pop them under grow lights, and do the best you can. So this time around, I've decided that I'm just gonna pre-sprout directly into the tray that I want to put them in. In previous successions, I've pre-sprouted into a tray that's just flat like this. However, it is really annoying when you get really good roots and trying to stuff them in there. So I think I'm just gonna skip that step and put my new ones ready for pre-sprouting immediately into these trays. Now I've got my tray filled halfway up approximately with soil. I'm just using potting soil. You can use coconut coir, you can use peat moss, you can use kind of whatever you have available to you that is good for seed starting. All right, this tray is finished. Our ranunculus have their new home, all nice and covered, and now we can put them in the dark place. And once they've been in their dark and cool place for approximately 2 weeks, they're gonna look like this. Now, of course, this is not the same tray, and this is not 2 weeks later. This is a previous succession I had done, but this is what your pre-sprouted corms are gonna look like. So if I pull out this ranunculus here, it has some really nice roots on it. We're starting to get little bits of green. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then if I pull out an anemone, this particular anemone doesn't have a bit of green yet, but it has some really nice roots on it. So this is exactly what we're looking for. And we can pot these up and put them under the grow lights. So let's head downstairs and I'll show you what my ranunculus and anemones look like after 1 month from the time that I soaked them. So for any of you freaking out about the size of my ranunculus and anemones at the beginning of March, knowing that you're also in the same growing region, don't worry, you're not behind. You truly aren't. These are an experiment. I have a wedding that is May 7th, and I know that trying to get flowers that are like locally grown for May 7th is an absolute stretch, but I'm willing to try. And I've informed my bride, she knows, and if I can't do it, we'll just order flowers and it's the way it is. So growing anemones and ranunculus actually isn't super hard. It's just that it requires a few extra steps that maybe a complete beginner of a gardener isn't willing to do. And so if that's not you this year, don't worry. It's going to be you next year, the year after. And for those of you who are up for the challenge, I would love to see your results. Make sure that you tag me on Instagram at shifting_roots, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.